Hi there, a warm welcome to you. Can you hear me, viewers? Thank you for confirming that audio is working. Uh, Warm welcome to all of you. Thanks for watching. Let me welcome the participants. First, a name in Tigrinya or Amharic says, Hello, Sajid. Welcome, dear. Volde file. Second, viewer who commented, Volde is a member too. Special welcome to you, Volde file. Good to see you. Volde has been a member of My Views and News for the last 2 years, I think. Since I started membership, Volde has been a regular member. You can be a member. Link is given in description section of the live chat. The Seth Solomon here, Akabe joined, Sammy S. Vonde Magagne says, your information is always accurate. Thank you. Isfalde Dhapte here, Agostino Hadish says, I'm waiting for the good news. FBG ne here, Rita Tamasgan says, please tell us about the war between Pakistan and Afghanistan. As if you are really interested. You're not, Rita. I know what you have been asking, the types of questions you have been asking. Don't divert me. You know, I'm not covering Pakistan Afghanistan conflict, which is not a big conflict, by the way. It's not a big conflict. Once I know that viewers are really interested in learning about Pakistan conflict, I'll do a video on that. I promise. But if you are really interested in knowing about Pakistan Afghanistan conflict, be a member. Let's see how many become a member and they tell me that they have become a member and they are really interested in learning about Pakistan Afghanistan war. I promise I'll do detailed videos, but let me see how many are really interested. Will they be members? We have Tamro Ganine here, Aptamo and Dwalam joined. Sufyan joined. Welcome, Sufyan. Blue Army here. Blue Army is again diverting me, saying we're not hearing. Audio fine. Sometimes he asks irrelevant questions and sometimes try to divert me, saying we're not hearing you. Isfalt says Abi is in 4 kilo as usual. Who confirmed that, by the way, that he's in 4 kilo? Nathnael here. Rahute joined. Ababa here. Ababa says he's in Azerbaijan getting more drones. Yaqub joined. Welcome, Yaqub. D100 says PM Abi is in Azerbaijan. No, Rita, you're not a member. You know who a member is. Member is the one who chooses to be a member. There is difference between member and subscriber. You are a subscriber, not a member. Membership link is given in description section of the live chat. Haile Mescal joined. Blue Army says Pakistan afraid of Afghanistan. As I told you that he always writes comments to distract me. Batham Gob is joined. Ethio here. Yunus Gabro joined. Varsame says hello from Somaliland. Welcome, Varsame. Love Media says no voice. Simon Halavi here. Tech says it's fine for those who have ears. Yeah, ears and some conscience too, by the way, who are ready to hear the truth. A new wave joined. Betham says, Hi Sajid, why is PP supporters ask you to report on Afghanistan, Pakistan war? Actually, they want to stop me. They don't want me to cover Ethiopia. That is why they always ask questions about Pakistan, about India, about other countries. They don't like my coverage of Ethiopia because maybe that's not what they want. They want to silence me basically. Mike here. Waktole Tikki joined. Ahmad Mohammed joined. Baka G joined. Baka Ji says, is it true that Ethiopia and Israel are collaborating to control the movements of Isas, Avurki, and his generals? Well, I think Zakir joined. Welcome, Zakir. Well, I think Israel is badly caught up now in Middle East. Maybe if it's free in future in the Middle East, then it might focus on the Horn of Africa too. Top notch here. Welcome. Tokman says, why don't you write a book about Ethiopia and Tigray war? Maybe in future when I get old. Abu Sher, Ahmad Mohammed, peace, love joined. Zakaria here. Hi, join. Welcome. Hi. Hi, says, which country could be new victim of Iran attack? Symbolian here, peace and love joined members. Welcome, all of you. Well, Lion joined too. Tarek Cafe here. Uh, which new country could be Blue Army says, I don't read your book. And still you are listening to me and writing comments. You will read my book, by the way. Anyway, so where is Ethiopian PM? Let's talk about that and then several developments happening in Iran US war. You know that Ethiopian Prime Minister has not been seen in the last 3 days. Uh, Last time when he was seen, he was in Azerbaijan. He went to Azerbaijan and we saw statements about Ethiopian Prime Minister's engagements there. He met with Ibrahim Aliyev, Azerbaijani leader, and the meetings were about defense cooperation, diplomatic engagements, and economic cooperations. Abiy has been buying weapons from Azerbaijan, small arms. So it shouldn't be surprising if we come to know that Abiy is in Baku to buy more weapons. But 3 days have passed and the Ethiopian PM's whereabouts are unknown. The foreign minister Gideon Timotheus yesterday briefed about the visit of the Ethiopian prime minister. He did not specifically tell the people where the prime minister is. Has he returned to Addis Ababa or is he still in Azerbaijan? No clarity so far. By the way, in the past, I remember that on at least 2 occasions, The Prime Minister of Ethiopia just disappeared for a few days. And then people spread rumors about his health, that he had fled the country, that he had taken refuge in Dubai during COVID days too. I think it was said that the Prime Minister was not in Ethiopia, he was seriously ill. And whenever the Prime Minister disappears, rumors about coup are spread. Again, some news outlets are spreading rumors that a coup is in the making. The Prime Minister won't be able to return to Ethiopia. So far, we have no confirmed about his return to Ethiopia or not. Has he returned or not? No confirmed information. But if he's still in Azerbaijan, where he was 3 days ago, then I think he'll have to take a very long route to return to Ethiopia, because all Middle Eastern countries have closed their airspace. The shortest route between Azerbaijan and Ethiopia is over the Middle East, through the UAE, through Saudi Arabia, through Turkey. This is the shortest route. Azerbaijan, shares border with Iran. It shares border with Turkey too. So Azerbaijan is entry to Middle East. From Azerbaijan, you can go to Europe through Turkey. Since Middle East is at war, all countries have closed their airspace. It means that he cannot return to Ethiopia through the Middle East. Airports being hit everywhere in the Middle East. Either he'll have to go to Europe, and from there he can fly to Ethiopia, taking a longer route, or he will have to go to Central Asia, from there to maybe India, and then towards Africa. That is a very long route, I think. It's difficult to say where he is now. Maybe he's taking a longer route, and maybe he will appear in another country, because he has to take a new route to return to Ethiopia. If he has not returned, then he's taking a longer route. If he has returned, then deliberately he's keeping a low profile. Why? Because so far, Ethiopian government has not taken a clear position about Iran-US war. Why? Because on the one hand, Iranian supreme leader has been killed on Iranian soil, and those who are very close to the US, only they can defend this type of action, because Nicolas Maduro's abduction, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei's assassination cannot be defended, no doubt about that. But those who are very close to the US, only they can defend it. I don't think Ethiopia is in a position to say that what US did to Iranian leader was needed. I don't think so. At the same time, what Iran is doing perhaps is more concerning for Ethiopia, because Iran is hitting UAE's interests everywhere. Today, a UAE fuel station was hit. A hotel was hit in Dubai, where UAE's intelligence agency is based. Some American intelligence operators were based there too. Tourist resorts are being hit. Hundreds of missiles have been fired by Iran on the UAE. UAE's airports, Dubai airport, closed. And if this war goes on for a few weeks, UAE's economy could take a serious hit. So, Abiy is not in a position to condemn Iranian attacks on the UAE. At the same time, he's not in a position to uh, condemn US attack on Iran. He's silent, waiting for the right time to emerge and speak. What about Eritrea, Issa Severki, who is champion of the New World Order, who loves to speak about the New World Order? Uh, uh, Maybe soon Issa Severki will schedule a new interview. Whenever something big happens, he schedules an interview and he then lectures the world about New World Order. This time, he might take his time because this time Israel is involved. This time US is involved, and he knows perhaps that if it takes a very strong position against the US, against Israel, Trump, angered, could think of abducting him as well. Maybe that is why Sas work is silent. Otherwise, he loves to lecture the world about New World Order. So, is there need for New World Order? According to the president, I think he should come up and speak now. He should tell the world that the world is badly in need of a new world order. US has killed Iranian supreme leader, which is a clear violation. So Eritrea stands with Iran because Eritrea has been a victim of sanctions. Eritrea has been suffering, but he's nowhere to be seen. People say that Isas Savuki is the one who's been standing against the US, standing against Westerners for decades. But now, when there is time to stand, the Isas Savuki is nowhere to be seen because obviously Trump has created panic. He's abducted Nicolas Maduro, is killed Ayatollah Ali Khamenei on Iranian soil. All those leaders who have been confronting the US now they know they should not be involved in direct confrontation against Donald Trump, American president, and they should not obstruct American plans in the region. But let's hope that Risa Savuki will schedule an interview tomorrow or day after tomorrow, and he will give us the opportunity to hear his insightful views about the New World Order. I think he won't speak now about the New World Order, especially if Trump government threatens him once. Perhaps he will discard the idea of a New World Order. Abiy is waiting for the stronger party to emerge, maybe, and he's taking his time, and then he will issue a statement. African Union issued a statement uh, urging the two parties, all the parties, to show restraint, a balanced statement without taking any sides. AU issued a statement before the confirmed assassination of Iranian supreme leader. Goracha is confirming that Abiy is back in Addis Ababa. Yeah, I know that pro-government sources claimed 2 days ago that he had returned, but he has not been seen. He's keeping a low key. Either he has not returned or he's deliberately keeping a low key. He's waiting for the dust to settle in the Middle East. And then he will appear and his government will take a position about the war between Iran and the US. By the way, both Abiy and Isaias now will have to revisit their plans. Abiy perhaps will not be able now to receive lots of support from the UAE, especially if Iran UAE face off drags on. ISAS won't be able to receive more weapons from Iran. A prolonged war in the Middle East will definitely have an impact on security and politics in the Horn of Africa. But Saudi Arabia and UAE are interestingly coming close. The two leaders held telephonic conversation yesterday. Saudi Arabia condemned American attack on Iranian attack on UAE. And today, Washington Post, by the way, claimed that Mohammed bin Salman and Benjamin Netanyahu, Israeli Prime Minister, played a key role in convincing Donald Trump to attack Iran. It's a dangerous revelation if true, but these Middle Eastern countries have been fighting each other for centuries. Centuries. Shias and non Shia Muslims, they have been killing each other for centuries. Since the death of the Prophet Muhammad, these Muslim countries, groups have been killing each other. Long before America was discovered, they were killing each other. So it's ongoing for centuries. Abraham says the information you're providing about Ethiopia and Tigray region is absolutely false, except the names you use. Which information is wrong and false? Which piece of information? Be specific. Goracha says, Sajid, protect me from Isaiah's trolls. Well, Sajid cannot protect himself from trolls. Eretean Pearl of Red Sea says, were you surprised that that Atullah did not hide? Well, he was hiding. He was hiding. He was not sitting in an open compound. He was hiding. He was in a bunker. They fired bombs which can penetrate. And America has the types of bombs which can really penetrate the ground. They destroyed Iranian nuclear sites in June last year, which were situated deep down into the ground. Alim says, how is their offensive going on in Sudan from Ethiopia? Well, nothing new. RSF have not been able to make any major gains in Blue Nile, but hopefully I'll do a video on that tomorrow. One info says, isn't this perfect time for Abiy to start attacks? Well, that is what Lieutenant General Johannes Gebremeskel is advising the Ethiopian federal government. In an interview, he said that this is the time to strike Eritrea. Westerners won't be reacting in a very strong manner. That is why Abiy should hit Eritrea. But Abiy has been relying on UAE's support for wars. The UAE supported Abiy during Tigray war. If UAE is badly caught up in the Middle East, perhaps Abiy will think twice before attacking Eritrea or attacking Tigray, because Abiy will find it difficult to receive weaponry from his allies in the Middle East. That might make Abiy revisit his plan of war on Eritrea or on Tigray. On the other hand, Tigray might be emboldened if it has all the uh, if it has all the things available. It might be emboldened to just launch attack. No one was expecting, by the way, that Iran-US war will uh, involve UAE in such a way. And it was being said that maybe Iran-US war could give Ethiopia and Ethiopian allies to make some ambitious moves in the Horn of Africa. But the way UAE is being hit, their allies in the Horn of Africa will have to be careful now. Abdise says, you don't speak Horn of Africa language and claim expert on the Horn of Africa, but your argument did not hold water. I need to speak at least one language to be an expert of the Horn of Africa. How many languages are spoken in the Horn of Africa? How many are spoken in Ethiopia? It means that one who speaks Afan Oromo, he cannot talk about Tigray. One who speaks Somali, he should not talk about Amhara. One who speaks English in Kenya should not talk about Tigray. What type of logic is this? What is the status of the SIM though? Well, the SIM though is there, but in the last few months, you saw that TPLF now is not holding any public display of the SIM though. I did not see any major engagements, public engagement with Tigray and Eritrea, but they're still allies. They're still allies. Uh, and perhaps in coming weeks, I think we could see them again meet and make big decisions. Iran, has killed American soldiers. Now it has been confirmed. Just a few updates for you from Iran US war that US has confirmed that 3 of its soldiers have been killed in the ongoing war. 3 killed and 5 injured. Where were they killed and injured? Uh, it's not being mentioned by the US government, but they say that soon they will disclose their identities. Have they been killed in Bahrain or UAE or Saudi Arabia or Qatar? It's not clear. I think either Bahrain or UAE. Because in UAE as well, there have been some precise strikes on US presence there. In Bahrain too, there was a major strike. A Shaheed kamikaze drone actually fell into a US base there. So for the first time, US is confirming losses. And people have been just saying that Iranian drones and missiles are useless, but it means that these drones and missiles have been hitting targets. They have been hitting targets. But how long can Iran continue firing the drones and missiles? This is the question. Because I said in last night's live chat that when Israel and Hamas fought, Hamas had rocket firing capability. Israel destroyed that capability in several weeks. Gradually, Hamas lost the capability, and that was the end of Hamas. Then Israel just took control of Gaza's airspace, and it leveled Gaza by brutal airstrikes there. Iran and US, they have not been able to take control of Iranian airspace so far. That is what their goal is. They want to control Iranian airspace. Once they do that, then no one will be able to stop them from bulldozing everything on the ground, destroying everything on the ground. So far, Iran has its missile firing capability, its drone firing capability intact, and Iran is known for having huge stockpiles of drones. They produce small kamikaze Shahid drones, which are easy to manufacture, and they have reportedly tens of thousands of Shahid kamikaze drones, and they have missiles too. Uh, what remains to be seen is how long Iran can maintain its missile drone firing capability, firstly. Secondly, Strait of Hormuz is being closed, though Iran has officially announced that it won't close the Strait of Hormuz. Kidan MG says, why don't you bring us a news about Pakistan burning US embassy? Did you watch my videos today? I think you missed a video. In this morning's video, I talked about attack on US embassy in Pakistan and attack on US embassy in Iraq. I said in Pakistan, 8 people were killed when protesters tried to enter US consulate in Karachi. You missed that video. Don't come with a prejudice against me. Watch every video and then comment. Anyway, so Iran, US, and Israel want to control Iranian airspace. Once they do that, then they can be really deadly. Uh, Iran claimed that it hit US aircraft carrier today, Abraham Lincoln. US has deployed 2 aircraft carriers. It has not been confirmed so far. If it is confirmed, it will be a huge blow to the defensive mechanisms put in place by the US military. US Central Command says that no missiles could reach the US aircraft carrier. Iran does not have any evidence. Strait of Hormuz, Iran says that it has not closed Strait of Hormuz. Strait of Hormuz is used by all the countries around Strait of Hormuz. I mean, Kuwait, Saudi Arabia, UAE, Iran. Oil from all these countries passes to Strait of Hormuz. Iran cannot close the Strait of Hormuz because that will pit Iran against all other countries. Officially, Iran is saying that it's not closing the Strait of Hormuz, but Iran is hitting oil containers, oil tanks passing through Strait of Hormuz. So officially, it will not acknowledge, but unofficially, it will try to close it. That is why Maersk, which is one of the largest shipping companies in the world, it has announced suspension of its marine operations, its activity through Strait of Hormuz. And today, I think 3 ships were hit. 3 oil ships, oil tankers were hit in the Strait of Hormuz. Today, there was less traffic passing through Strait of Hormuz. Tomorrow, we could see again lesser traffic. If Houthis join into and they start carrying out attacks near Bab al Mandab, we could see real rise in the price of oil across the world. And if it starts rising, Europe will really feel the pinch of it. Europe is, importer of oil. China will feel the pinch as well. US might not feel the pinch because US produces oil, but China buys a lot from the Middle East, and same is like with Europe too. That is why a long war will hurt Chinese and European interests too. They would like this war to come to an end as soon as possible, I think. By the way, American strategy of making people rally against Iranian government is not succeeding so far. I mean, people in Iran are not taking to the streets against Iranian government. They're angry, they're protesting, they are mourning the death of Ayatollah Ali Khamenei. That is why there is no likelihood that Iranians will take to the streets and overthrow the government. No, it won't happen. US president has been urging Iranians to topple the government, but protests happened a few weeks ago. Protests were crushed. Now, I don't think protests will happen because the Iranians are not happy with the way Trump has killed their top leaders. Majority of Iranians. Error TFLRC says US Senate has called an emergency meeting. Don't think war will go on for a long time. Well, I think a lot depends on what Iran wants and what US wants. If US wants regime change, it won't happen overnight. It will take time. Uh, if Iran wants, welcome University Abrea, back after a long time. Thank you for joining. Good to see you. If Iran wants to revenge, if it will take revenge, it will go on as well. And what is the definition of revenge for Iran? Revenge for the assassination of Ayatollah Ali Khamenei. If Trump is bent on regime change in Iran, it won't happen overnight, I think. Welcome, Kidane. So I think that both will have to just make some compromises. Otherwise, it will go on. Regime change, not easy in Iran. At the same time, I think Iran won't be able to inflict decisive losses on the US, keeping in view the US technology, keeping in view the US support uh, in the region, support for the US. And Dualam Asefa says the Ethiopian PM is back to Addis the day before yesterday afternoon. Yeah, that's what we heard day before yesterday and a day before that, in fact, but he has not been seen since then in Addis Ababa. Israel Jemane, I think I answered this question a few minutes ago. Do watch the recorded version of the live chat. DM says, how will this war affect RSF? Well, it will affect RSF a lot if Iran continues attacking UAE. Mamu Coelho, Gurache is gone, I think. DW Ethiopia says, I feel like the remaining Iranian leaders will want to surrender. No, no, no. They won't surrender. They think that they're being martyred. They are going to paradise, that their lives are being lost for a cause. They won't surrender. Yes, they will sign a deal to stop building the bomb, which they agreed to, by the way. But they will never surrender, I think. Gold Trader says, why is Ab ignoring Al Burhan? Well, he's ignoring Al Burhan because he doesn't want to offend UAE. If UAE gives the green light, he will host Al Burhan. Otherwise, no. How about Houthi silent? Yeah, Houthi silent. Hezbollah silent too, though Hezbollah considerably weakened after the death of their leader. Houthis weak too, but maybe they're waiting for the right time, waiting for the green light from the from their ally Iran. Once Iran gives the green light, they might be involved. Mesmer says, I think the next one will be Turkey. Well, yes, to be honest. If you look at the history, uh, Americans split Iraq, they dismembered Libya, they dismembered Syria, they uh, did the same to Libya, Sudan fighting an internal war. So those who confront them, they then just try to divide and weaken them. Turkey, I think, has improved ties with Trump. Same way with Pakistan too, by the way. Pakistan has improved ties with the US. And Pakistan is close to China. Maybe that is why US doesn't want to confront Pakistan directly. Turkey, I think, has realized that it needs to have. By the way, Turkey is a member of NATO as well. Turkey is a NATO member. So such attack on Turkey perhaps won't be easy. Elim says, I think Iranians might exhaust the interceptors and then attack. Well, they are attacking, but they need to maintain their attacking capability. If their sites are hit, missile launch sites are hit, if their stockpiles are hit, they won't be able to fire a lot. So they need to maintain this missile, rocket, and drone firing capability. Knight says, I don't think Iran will ever surrender if they lose 100 leaders. Well, they have lost so many. I mean, in June last year, how many were killed? How many Iranian leaders were killed back then? I think around 25. And 5 killed since yesterday. 30 they have lost. Top 30. And they haven't surrendered. But yes, they agreed to make compromises about the nuclear program. They said, okay, we won't build the bomb. We can give you an assurance. Knight says, do you think Saudis can get attacked by Israel someday? Well, that is, Saudi Arabia cannot be easily attacked by any country. Why? Because Saudi Arabia has Makkah, it has Medina, it has Baytullah, it has the uh, grave of the Prophet Muhammad, Masjid Nabawi there. And Saudi Arabia has signed a defense deal with Pakistan. If Saudi Arabia comes under attack, Pakistan is bound to support Saudi Arabia. It's not easy to attack Saudi Arabia because entire Muslim world will unite to support Saudi Arabia because Muslim holy places are there in Saudi Arabia. You're a hardcore supporter of Iran, someone is saying. Are you saying I am hardcore supporter of Iran? I don't support anyone. But let's speak truth. Let's speak the truth. Bakaji says, can Iran invade Lebanon with Hezbollah in order to reach Israel by land if its air force fails to fight back? Well, lots of possibilities are there in terms of ground attack, but Iran's main strength, I think, is its missile power, its rocket firing capability. They need to have this, they need to maintain it. They need to be in control of their airspace. If they lose control of the airspace, even the ground force will be vulnerable because Israelis and Americans will destroy everything, uh, troops, military bases, everything will be destroyed. Their first test is can they remain in control of their airspace or not? Yeah, LM, you're right. Your question has the answer that Saudis use Muslim holy places as a protection. So, attack on Saudi Arabia is portrayed by Saudis as attack on Muslim holy places. They always play this card. Education fable says why Arab country leaders boast at first but fall soon within 3 days, like Iraq, Libya, Syria, Yemen. You're right. You're right that these countries make big claims, their leaders make big claims, and then uh, they just fall. Well, I think they are not united. None of them is in a position to fight Israel alone. None of them is in a position to fight the US alone. If they need to fight Israel, if they need to fight US, they'll have to join. They'll have to unite themselves, which they have not been able to do. And secondly, when one of them becomes strong in the Middle East, it starts terrorizing others. You saw what Saddam did. Saddam, Iraq, what did he do? He attacked Kuwait. He tried to attack Kuwait. You saw that. They are fighting each other, giving their rivals the chance to destroy them. Million Gilan says, what is the position of Pakistan about the Iran war? Well, just a few minutes ago, I saw a statement when Pakistan condemned the assassination of Iran's supreme leader. Though Pakistan is US ally, by the way, but keeping in mind there is large Shia population in Pakistan, and people could react. Pakistan chose to condemn it. And secondly, Israeli presence in Iran is unacceptable for Pakistan. Pakistan does not want to see Israel close to its borders. If Israeli forces enter Iran, backed by Americans, if Israeli forces enter Iran and start marching, or if they establish their presence close to Pakistan, that will be uh, very concerning for Pakistan. So Pakistan does not want the type of regime change in Iran which will help US, which will help Israel to establish itself in Iran. At the same time, Pakistan does not want to support Iran because if it supports Iran, obviously Israel and US will hit Pakistan too. Bethan Education not happy with my comments. He says, "What are you talking about, Sajid? Are you happy if US attacks to Eritrea?" When did I say that US should attack Eritrea? Why did I say that? I'm only talking about US attacks against leaders, against Nicolas Maduro, against Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, against other leaders too, maybe against Isaias Afwerki. I'm not saying that US should do that. I'm not saying US should bombard Eritrea. I'm not saying that. Come on. But why is Isaias silent? I mean, he's champion of the New World Order. The New World Order is being imposed by force, and the champion is silent. Why? Mamu Koilo says, "Why don't you go fight Afghanistan for your country?" I'm not stupid, to be honest. I don't believe in such blind patriotism that you just start defending your country in a blind manner without understanding what is the reason behind a war, and you just blindly support your country, your people. That's a bias which should not be part of your lives, I think. Eritrea, Palavradsi says, Sajid Isas only gives interviews once a year. Yeah, maybe New World Order is a matter of concern for him once a year. And then there are other issues too. Some people want me to go fight Afghanistan. Others want me to go fight in the Middle East. Others say you should cover the issues related to Pakistan. Basically, they want to silence me. They don't want me to continue covering the Horn of Africa. Why? Do you think the world is leading to a unipolar power order? Well, it has already become a dangerously and deadly unipolar world where one power is making big decisions. There is no one to counter this power. When a country is abducting other countries' presidents and killing them on their soil, is it an indication of a dangerously deadly new world order, which is unipolar? Definitely. I think I should leave. 55, 56 minutes have passed. It was a long live chat tonight. People not happy with me, some about my remarks regarding Isas Sabuki. I'll speak more about it tomorrow, hopefully. Thank you for watching. Stay blessed. Bye bye.